Glad to have you back. President Muhammadu Buhari has appointed Abike Dabiri as Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of the National Diaspora Commission, but this was contained in a letter of approval sent to the National Assembly. Abike, who was a former member of the House of Representatives, was the special advisor to the President on Foreign Affairs and Diaspora prior to this new appointment. We have joining us on the news to discuss the impact of this appointment on the 2019 elections, Temitope Olodo, security expert and a Nigerian, of course, in the diaspora. Thank you very much for joining us on TVC News Hour.
Thank you for having me.
All right. What impact do you think this new appointment would be for Nigerians abroad?
I think for the first time, the President Muhammadu Buhari, have done what many Nigerian leaders from 1999 have not even dared to go into. He has promised and he has fulfilled his promises to the diaspora, a population of over 15 million Nigerians in diaspora who have been contributing over $21 billion in remittance into Nigeria. And at least this is something we must applaud the president for, because he promised he would do it. And for the first time, we have a sitting president who has fulfilled his promise with regard to supporting the diaspora and creating better link between the diaspora and their homeland.
All right, true that the commission has been established, but in terms of the managing director, the act says it has to go through the Senate for confirmation. Now, we know that Abike she was member of the House of Representatives and the chairman of the Committee on Diaspora. And of course, she's the senior special advisor to the president on the issue of diaspora. Do you think she's a good fit for this position, or somebody else can do better?
No, I don't think there's anybody out there that could do a better job. And this is a lady that has actually worked, in this particular industry, if we could call it that, for quite a long time. She has not only the expertise, but she knows the right people. She has been working tirelessly. She's one politician that I could testify could be contacted at any time. Diasporans have linked with her. She has linked with all the NIDOs, which is the organizations. She's traveled wide and far. Even at times when people will not expect her to be there, she has made herself available, helping to ensure that linkage between the Nigerian government and the diaspora. And that's the reason why she's a good fit. But more importantly, this is one of those appointments that the president is making that will get the support of the legislator, because she herself was once a legislator, well known and well loved. She has no beef with anyone. She speaks freely and talks clearly with everyone. So I think this is the right choice the president is making. I will must applaud the president for this good choice.
Okay, but then let's look at the welfare of Nigerians abroad, not generally now, maybe those that are refugees there, who some just got deported. In fact, there was a case we had to handle as a TV station just this morning. Nigerians abroad, ill-treated, somehow illegally deported back home, and we're not even able to take anything. You think that Abike Dabiri will be able to use a new office to make sure Nigerians get a better deal wherever they are outside the shores of the country?
There's no doubt in my mind, because this is exactly one of the reasons why we need a commission that is working with the federal ministry, the foreign ministry, to ensure that Nigerians are treated well. We should remember that we have embassies in most of these countries, and some of Nigerians in those countries also do not register. I, for example, I'm a British citizen born in the UK, but when I'm coming to Nigeria, for example, I register with the British High Commission in Nigeria to say I am going to be in Nigeria, so that they'll be able to provide consular services to me. And that is what is expected of Nigerians. So one of the things that this commission will be able to do is educate Nigerians more, have a database of Nigerians wherever they are. And I think it is important to highlight that for the past few months, this president and this particular president have gone out of his way to ensure that Nigerians who were trapped in Libya were brought back home safe and also supported when they return back. So there's a lot of things that have been done. Of course, there are a lot of Nigerians in different countries around the world. I've met Nigerians in places where you will never ever expect Nigerians to be. But more importantly, there are a lot of Nigerians that are doing a lot of great things that we need to bring back home.
All right.
We need to at least engage in a way to ensure the prosperity of Nigeria.
I want to stay with that line of thought that Aziza just raised now. Are you going to recreate a new Abike Dabiri? She's been in that position. She's been the senior special advisor to the president on issues like that. And the home office of this particular commission is domiciled at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And I'm wondering, how did they handle the South Africa genocide? Was it to the favor of Nigerians who were mutilated and killed? What we should do differently?
I think we must give credit to the president. For the first time, we have police officers that have been pointed out as suspects or involved in this atrocity, now going through the legal process in South Africa. The same thing with Ghana, where there have been incidents and other countries. So Nigerians have been doing something much differently from what have been known to be done by the Nigerians. They've been quite fast. And I think it's important that in other countries, you cannot just go in and, pick people up and say, oh, they've attacked Nigerians, so for that reason, we're going to bring them to Nigeria to do justice. We need to follow the process in those countries. And Nigeria have been doing what Nigeria is known to do well, to engage with the appropriate authorities in those countries through our legal representative, which is the ambassador and the foreign affairs, to ensure that people who have attacked Nigerians or done things to Nigerians which is illegal have been brought to book. And that is going on in South Africa as we speak. Now, this commission will not only deal with foreign affairs, financial aspect, will also deal with the cultural issue so that Nigerians will be able to enjoy the dividends of democracy. And I think we need to understand that this government have been doing a lot. There are areas where we might criticize this government, but where they have done things, I think we should give them the kudos for that.
So generally, with the level of confidence you are saying that Nigerians in the diaspora have in Abike, you're in essence saying that the diaspora summit coming up would be successful and it will make a diasporan like you want to come back home to invest in the nation's economy?
No, there's no doubt. You should recognize that Nigeria, the diaspora, the 7th sub-region of Nigeria, well educated. There are two types of diaspora. We need to understand that. There are diasporans that are people born outside, born in Nigeria that are now living in the diaspora, from Ghana to Ivory Coast, from South Africa to UK. And there are those who are like people like myself who were born outside Nigeria from the instance, and we have children who are also born. So, and there's a lot of us, and imagine that combination and imagine what we could inject into Nigeria in terms of improving the issue of corruption, improving the issue of electricity, improving the issue of water, investing into Nigeria, and ensuring that our children could assimilate with children back home and ensure that things are done better and that we have a Nigeria that we all dream for. So definitely, this is a good plus. And for the government, this is actually a good thing, because as we move towards the election, many diasporans will be saying, what has Mr. President done for us? And they'll be able to point to this and say, yes, this is something that Mr. President have done for us, and we need to credit him for that.
Perhaps we'll have given you a yes or no answer if you want to come to Nigeria, yes or no, but we'll leave it there. Many thanks for your time and contributions on TVC News Hour. Temitope Olodo.
Thank you very much.
Many thanks.
Thank you for having me.